Okay, guys, so we are live. So for those listening at home, welcome to the Dungeon Musings YouTube channel. My name is Kevin Madison, and I will be your friendly Dungeon Master today. Today, we are carrying on with our ongoing campaign, playing Advanced Dungeons & Dragons 2nd Edition, playing through the 2013 adventure, Legacy of the Crystal Shard. Yep, that was a terrible hold-up. Hold up. There we go. Legacy of the Crystal Shard. And with me today are the Quarantine Crusaders themselves, the players in our quarantine campaign. I'll go with the order I've got you guys on the screen here. The stars of the Legacy of the Crystal Shard game. Tell us who you are and who you're playing and what level are you currently. First up, I have Andrew.
Hi everyone, I am Andrew. I play Kola, a dwarven priest of Clangeddon. I'm currently, oh god, it's only been a week and I'm currently level 4.
Nice. Next up is Arlen.
Hi, I'm Arlen, and I'm playing Gorwyn, who is an elf fighter of the 4th level.
Very nice. And last but not least is our resident armor smith, Dave.
Hey everybody, I'm Dave. I am playing Lex Wiltshire. He's a half-elven ranger of Myliki of the 4th level.
Very nice. All right, guys. Oh, Falcarel's here. I'll have to fade Falcarel out, too. So, where we last left our session, we've got some people who were here last session, some people who weren't. What happened last time, guys?
First up, vote.
Yep.
So, we went to Dane Stokely Silverstream and told him about the Luskan scumbags who are hiding out on his land and about the white dragon that we saw passing overhead. And he said that they had sent word to a place called the Dale Drop, which is sort of at one end of the Dwarven Valley.
I'll bring you guys over to the Dwarven Valley so we can situate where all this is happening. There we go.
Yeah, it basically protects the entrance on the north side of the Dwarven Valley, and that their word had not come back, and so they were worried because the dragon was flying in that direction.
Yes.
And so Stokely Silverstream basically said, if you can, he'd really appreciate us taking a contingent of dwarves up to the Dale Drop to reinforce it or to secure it or whatever. So we went off on adventures towards the Dale Drop, and along the way we encountered a whole horde of these tribesmen berserkers and some yetis and some barely tamed bears, or I don't know if tamed is the right word. The bears under the tribesmen's control.
Yeah.
Who they sort of we sort of encountered one group of them, and then a second group came out of the woods to try to ambush us. But we drove them off, or rather, we killed a bunch of them and then ran the fleeing tribesmen down and took them prisoner. And now we're sort of out on the road, gonna head towards the Dale Drop and need to deal with all these ragged tribesmen prisoners.
Yeah. So, yes, you guys did take a bunch of ragged prisoners, so I think we'll pick up our game there. You guys took, looks like, gosh, quite a bit. 10 prisoners?
No, and now there's only 3 of us keeping them in line.
Yeah, well, Andy, I mean, you do have 15 dwarves under your command as well, too. And maybe what I'll do is I'll adjust these appropriately so that we got who's not here. So we'll switch this to...
Yeah, I had left early, so you didn't have any under my command.
Oh, okay, great. So then what I need to do... Here, I'll switch Mo's. So our regular player Mo is not feeling well today and is having to sit out the session, but our thoughts are with Mo. Hope you feel better soon, bud. And we will look forward to seeing you back in the Icewind Dale very, very soon. And let's see here. Arlen, you had those. You had those. So let's do this. You guys should each have 5 now. Roll 20 is, I don't want to jinx it, but it's moving like a dream today. For all my bitching about it last time, it's doing really, really nice today. Handling like a dream. Now that I've said that, Ice Dragon.
No, it's gonna
Fang
start.
Dragon. There we go. Okay, so we got 5 for Gorwyn, we got 5 for Cola, and let's give 5 to Lex here. Alrighty. So, you guys are about the halfway point from where you departed on your way towards the Dale Drop when this, roadside encounter / ambush kind of occurred. Thomas lost his mount, unfortunately, in the incident as well. So, what are you guys thinking of doing next here? We've got your dwarves are kind of keeping the tribesmen in line. I don't think you lost a single dwarven warrior, did you?
I don't think so. We had
Yeah.
a couple who got hurt, but
Yeah.
They were very well positioned and strategic in their fighting. Fun to
Absolutely.
watch.
Yeah. Okay, so then, guys, what is going to happen next?
do we want to try to interrogate the tribesmen and ask them what happened?
That's kind of where I'm leading. Let's try to. So we kind of hope to. We were. I don't think any of us were expecting to be waylaid and ambushed.
Yeah,
necessarily. So
We know that some of the tribesmen are allies to 10 towns and some are not. So maybe
Right.
we need to figure out which side these guys are on
Yeah.
and what they're doing out here.
do we want to mention our friend or not?
Well, let's figure out who are allied with.
Yeah, fair.
Okay.
Is there one of them that looks kind of like the leader or something like that?
Yeah,
that we
probably. Yeah, I think there's probably one among them that has kind of a what do you call it? Has more of a commanding presence, or the other ones that seem to be deferring to him. I do have one of the nice things in the inside of the DM screen that comes with this is names, random names for ragged tribesmen and for 10 towns NPCs, which is pretty great. Okay, let's see here. So this person's name, let's see, I'm going to give it 50-50. It's a man or a woman. It's a man. Yep, and I rolled the wrong dice. There we go. So the guy, when you pull him out, his name is Weebjorn. There we go. So you pull him out, and he's your typical, ragged tribesman, big, blonde, blue-eyed. He has ash smeared across his face, and he was wearing a bear headdress kind of thing before as well too. They're dressed for the weather, and he's big, burly, tough. Not quite as big as what say Thomas or Store is, but still pretty big and tough. Where do you want to do this interrogation? Oh, thanks, Ice King. Ice King says, well, but a drink for Mo in spirit. Nice. So, cheers, Mo.
Maybe so. It seems like we don't want to take him out of sight because that would be we're gonna go off to kill him somewhere. But we could take him a little ways away and sit down on a rock where the other tribesmen can see that we're just talking, but where they can't overhear.
Sure. There's certainly more than enough. Any of those rocks that you see on the map there, those would be suitable for either having him sit down or sit against.
Yeah. So sit down over here.
Okay. There we go. All right. So you bring him over, and he's sort of snarling and keeping you guys, or kind of just giving sass to all of you guys the whole way. But he isn't. It's more there's an attitude. He's not actually saying anything necessarily.
I might. I'll
Okay.
Do
So
we
with
have
him-
any ale or wine or anything like that on the packs on Alehead?
Probably, yeah.
So I don't think we ever dipped into those kegs of beer that's been floating around.
I think you guys did to celebrate, didn't you?
I think
yeah,
we celebrated. Probably used one, maybe two. Who knows?
Yeah.
fair.
I'm assuming the in-canon explanation for Jeff's character's absence is that he's fallen to drink again.
Totally
Right?
worked. That totally worked. And
Yeah.
and stores gambling with them or something while we're taking care of business.
I have a wineskin on me, but I didn't necessarily say if I filled it or not. So that's.
Doesn't make a difference to me. You guys,
Yeah, we can go and get some ale and bring some back.
okay.
Here.
He looks at you, takes it and slams it back, and then tosses the mug back to you.
Take a sip of my own and so. Who are you? Weebjorn?
Nope. One sec. I think Anna's getting into trouble. I'll be right back, guys. I'm sorry.
Okay. We shall roll attacks while Kev's gone. It's like, what? Yeah, we decided to slaughter him while you were gone. Next. We didn't like the answers he gave us. Next. Oh wait, I'm not chaotic evil.
Yeah, I might have to. I think that one, all debates about alignment aside, that one, I think, is a clear-cut case of my lawful good. Matricide notwithstanding.
Matricide. Let's not, my friend. You just hastened the inevitable.
Oh yeah, it's just a good running joke.
Oh, sorry about that, guys. Okay, so what are you guys saying to him then? Go ahead.
Lex, Corwin, Cola. Well, next.
Says nothing.
Why were you out here? Why did you attack us?
To take what's yours.
Didn't work so well, did it?
Am I dead?
Could be at any moment. You're only alive because we wish it to be.
You're only alive because she wishes it. That will end soon.
The White Witch.
You've heard. You've heard of your doom.
No. Inconvenience at best. It's a little colder. Ooh, I'm so scared.
Your kind is so brittle, though. Break
Brittle.
like icicles.
Oh. Speaking of brittle, did you see the battlefield? So what tribe are you from?
The bear.
The Bear tribe. I guess that's why you had 2 giant slabs of meat for us to carve up too. You have allies in the region? Which tribes do you align with?
And he spares a look back at the rest of the group. And then I need you to give me an initiative roll because he's going to jump on you. So, Dave, and you can add your dex bonus to this, Dave. Your reaction panel modifier.
Okay.
Okay. Beat my 3, please. Nice. So he's about to jump on you and grab you. If Gorwin and Cola are there too, you guys can each roll initiative. We'll do individual initiative for this. If you have a reaction modifier from Dexterity, you can apply that modifier as well.
I have a +2 reaction adjustment.
So you got a 0 effectively then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Slower than him.
Oof. Okay, so slower than him. And 2. Do you have a reaction modifier at all, Cola?
No, don't think so. Here.
Okay, so you're still faster than him then. So Lex and Cola, you can see this guy's about to jump onto Lex.
I'll try to just hold him and restrain him, hold him back?
Sure. Go ahead and give me. Let's see here. Cola is. What's your THAC0 right now? Cola?
18.
18. So you get +2. Do you have a strength modifier to hit?
No, just the damage. I meant
Just the damage. Okay. Yeah. So then give me a 1d20 +2, please.
1d20 +2.
Let's see.
Oh,
a little too slow for it. Lex, you get to act before him as well, too. What are you doing?
I draw a short sword.
Okay.
So that adds +2. I still go at 2.
Yep. So.
Sword in his face.
Okay.
Too slow. Sit back down.
He stops. And you think that would... I wouldn't shave with that small thing.
I'll casually take out my axe.
Rowan kind of fumbling at his sword.
And so,
I thought we were talking.
I think as Gorwin's laughing, the whole group of the ragged tribesmen is all laughing now too. And the dwarves kind of step forward and get their shields up to calm them down.
I like that.
The elf, you might think brittle, but be mindful that not all of us are so intimidated by the cold, friend.
That's why you hide under the earth, right, dwarf? You can't handle the open air. You'll freeze and die. She's coming. And the bear tribe will rule over all.
I mean, won't it be a frozen wasteland at that point?
You think that some snow will keep us from ruling? We are ragged. We don't feel the cold like you, weakling. Small, you look like a child.
You're dragon lunch at best.
Oh, someone will feed a dragon. Someone will feed a dragon indeed. Though, and he looks back at Gorwin, that one would be but a snack. And you, dwarf, you will have more meat on you.
When the winter has passed, the white witch long gone.
You best wish for when you grow wings, dwarf. The winter will never end.
Well, at least we'll still be here witnessing it, not like you, human. You'll be dead in a few decades.
You think you have that long? The dragon stirs. The White Queen returns.
Dragon is but a baby. I've seen it. It's tiny.
You have not. You clearly have not.
Saw it 20 days ago? 3 days?
Yeah.
3 days ago. Flying over the western edge of the valley. Didn't even scare me.
Did Lex made his save or failed his save against fear?
Lex made his save, his ram didn't, and he helped his ram.
I think Gorwin didn't, right? Is that?
Failed, yeah.
So I think we can see his whole sword with his sword out now. The whole thing is trembling, and he looks over at Gorwin's trembling hand and looks back at you, Lex, and just kind of. He glares down at you.
We're not in combat, are we? Or did we roll?
Nope.
Was that a short
Nope.
little?
That was just to see who would be able to react faster
Yeah,
than him.
okay. Never
He's
mind.
been cowed now that Lex has a weapon. He'd probably die before he got to Lex.
Never mind, guys. Won't work.
What were we trying to do?
Oh, just to command him to be a little bit more cooperative, but we're not in combat, and I only get that in combat.
No, you. Oh, you're. Oh, I
It
see.
explicitly states you get it in combat situations twice a day.
I think that I would rule that as in conflict situations if you wanted. But I mean, command is one of those tricky spells,
Thinking,
right?
like, what would I say? Like, I could try to use it like a zone of truth thing by saying
Yeah.
like truth, but only one of those words counts as this actual spell. So
Although-
I can either compel him to speak, or
Well, you could say like cooperate.
Oh,
But,
But-
that doesn't really say. That's kind of broad.
and
Well,
it's
and it
vague.
also only lasts for 1 round. So if like for 10 seconds you'll have a very compliant,
Yeah.
you know, bear tribesman.
It's not as useful in an interrogation.
What are the witch's plans?
Well,
I think we now have. Okay, never mind. We're gonna take a clip of that and it's gonna be a GIF.
yeah, it's all one word, I swear. I saw an interesting Twitter thread this week where someone pointed out that in different languages you can communicate more information in one word than in other ones. So you can actually infer you can infer a target to be like a noun to be acting on within one word from it. So like follow so and so or whatever. So. I'm still going to rule it. We're playing in English, so we're going to rule it the way it's always been ruled. But
Yeah, if only we were playing in Latin, you can say a whole lot in
Exactly.
one word.
well, apparently it was one of them was Spanish and one of them was, I think, it was one of the Slavic languages, Russian or Ukrainian or something like that. But it was interesting that, in other languages you can just communicate more meaning in one word as opposed to English, where yeah. But anyway. What else do you want from our friend Weebjorn?
What's the state of the Dale drop?
Ours. And we are just the first. So many coming. The White Witch's army will level this valley. And then the 10 towns... And then the Sword Coast, and then you can hear him kind of getting ratcheted up, and the rest of the guys are all like, "Ah, ah!" and all starting to get riled up by it too.
Lex hits him with the pommel of the sword, or shut up.
My wife hits harder. You haven't a chance against us.
How many of you are dead again? And your Yetis and your bears against what, a handful of us? Please. You highly overestimate yourself.
How many of there are you? Is this your best? The dwarves throwing elves? And he looks over at Gorwin and children at us? Your death may not be today, but it is written by the fates. You will die here.
I tire of this conversation. Anybody want anything else?
Nah,
I don't think he's going to be very helpful.
no.
He still wants to keep talking. He's happy to keep bragging and stuff. So if there's stuff that, the way that we sort of work the role playing in these things, we're not rolling dice or whatever else too, but you guys can manipulate the conversation. And one of the ways to think of it is what you're specifically trying to achieve from it. And the responses that you get from him can be informative, even if you're not getting answers that you necessarily like or that are not necessarily clear.
The bear tribe seems to have gained quite a position of power.
We are
Very
the
impressive.
mightiest. The elk are broken, fleeing, but we will find them.
Is that the... tribe
That's
that we
your buddy, yeah.
From
Yeah.
the Rhaegar
Yeah.
tribe?
Yeah. So one thing too, just to not to drop into day job stuff too, but to remind that there's two kinds of questions, broadly speaking. You can use open questions that do not presume an answer to try and get more broader stuff out from him, and you can use closed questions or leading questions that presume an answer.
The lawyer right here.
Yeah. Well, no, it's also a helpful way of sort of thinking that you've got broadly speaking, two different tools in your arsenal too. Open questions are great for getting a bunch of information that you can then sort through if you get an answer, and leading questions are good to get a specific bit of clarification on those things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm thinking. That's why I'm kind of thinking. I'm trying to play here to his ego, because he doesn't want to talk when we give him a direct kind of question. But if I can get him showboating, so
Well, also, I mean, threats don't seem to be going a lot with this guy, but he is not the smartest tool in the shed, So, or sharpest, I guess is the saying.
Yeah, you wouldn't have to be very smart to be the smartest tool in this yet.
True.
So the elk are fleeing from you. That it seems if you're so strong, you would have dealt with all of them already, and yet
They
you
are
gave them a
ragged.
chance to flee.
They are ragged. They are tougher than you. Born on the steppes, born on the tundra. They are children of her, of the Ice Queen. Though they
elk
have
is a
lost their
creature.
way.
The elk is a creature prone to fleeing from danger, like a coward. Would you not agree?
Yes. But then so are dwarves. Like badgers hiding in your holes. We'll find you in your holes. Be
You might
sure of
find
that.
it a wee bit harder than you think. It might take a wee bit longer, but that's not really the point here. The point right now
And
is
if you wish to hide in your holes, we'll bury them in it! And the whole group of them are like, ah! And the dwarves once again have to kind of settle them down.
that's all very well good. We're good little like badgers. We're very good diggers.
Yeah, the dwarven totem is a badger.
Alright. Oh shit. Well, I mean, I'm trying to get him to brag more.
What did you do to the elk?
Yeah.
What did we?
What did you do to the elk? How did you break them so easily? I heard they were tough.
Tougher than you. When you compare wood to blades of grass, perhaps the wood looks tough, but next to steel or stone, it's nothing.
So you overran the elk with your 3 bears and a handful of men?
You fool. You know nothing.
So then tell me, enlighten me. What do you have? 5 bears and two handfuls of men.
The ragged teach lessons only one way.
Dying on the battlefield?
You will die on the battlefield. You are beginning to see.
Yeah, I don't think
Elk, have the elk tribe upset? Are they alone against you?
He looks back. Why do you care for the elk tribe, dwarf? Do you, the badgers, wish to run with the elk?
Dwarves are not really very quick on our feet. Running is not exactly our game. No, I'm just interested. Is the bear tribe alone striking to speak for all the ragged? Are the elk the only ones who oppose them? My understanding is
There is nothing left to oppose us. The elk are broken, fleeing, and will soon be extinct.
Do we know if there are other tribes
Yep.
than just the bear and the elk?
Yep.
Right?
Over the last century, they've really kind of consolidated into basically 4 tribes, and then the elk are the ones that are the most cooperative, I guess, with the 10 towns, and the elk are also they're the ones who stood by their hero. What's his name? Wolfgar was the one of the heroes who stood against Akar Kessel when he first came to the Icewind Dale. He helped restore Brunor Battlehammer to the throne of Mithril Hall. So there's been a strong connection, and members of the elk tribe are what helped settle what is it, Caer-Dineval and Caer Konig, I think are the 2 communities. Caer-Dineval and Caer Konig are both mostly made up of former ragged tribesmen. Excuse me. So the elk, but the other tribes, the bear are the most belligerent. The elk often venerate the god they venerate is usually Tempus, who is a god of battle. And he's not really like, it's not a good or a bad. It's just someone who enjoys the carnage of war. The bear, though, they lean towards the gods of like elemental destruction. The gods of I think it's Talos is the god of the storm, and Auril, the goddess of winter. And you guys have heard about Auril before, of course. Those gods are not really ones that you typically venerate. They're ones that you try and avoid getting their attention, or you try to pacify them. But if you do genuinely lean into and worship them, it probably leads to very, very destructive acts. And if they have if the bear are in ascendance, and they've thrown in with Auril, that makes sense for sort of the weather that you've been seeing since you guys arrived in the Icewind Dale. Though this is really unusual, like for a goddess to actually take specific steps and be interacting with the world this way is really unusual. It's been more than 100 years since you've seen gods take direct action. The time of the avatars was a century ago. This is really something different.
Oren, anything you want to ask?
So I have a sort of I guess a question for Cola that I would have asked before, which is, if we get these guys to like swear to stay prisoners of war, will they do it, or are these kind of scumbags who'll just break their word?
I don't know that I know the politics of these tribes that well.
Well, I figure you would be the one who'd most likely know out of.
Does anyone have any history proficiency?
History,
Yeah, give me an ancient history proficiency, because these people, the Regid, are only found in here, but they are sort of part of the overall Utgard tribesmen. So yeah, I mean, you succeeded. It's not a great success, but what you sort of know is that these sort of, these types of tribes, they like holding themselves up as having a code of honor, but there are all sorts of fucking loopholes to get around why you don't need to be honorable. Like the, I swore my oath to an unhonorable or dishonorable person, so it's not dishonorable to betray them. I made an oath to someone who's an outsider, so therefore I don't worry about betraying them. Really, the strength and of the bond of those like oaths of honor comes down to the individual. And having studied this, chap for the last little bit, what's the impression you get of him? Does he strike you as someone who would be bound by honor, or someone who is bound by power?
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna get him to be an honorable prisoner of war. In which case, maybe we should send it back and discuss what we want to actually do with these guys, because
Lex will escort him back at sword point.
Okay, and he's thrown back in. I'll put a little red dot on him so we know who's who here. And as he joins back, he kind of like, with all his guys, like, yeah, he really showed him. And they sit down. So, what do you guys think?
As much as it irks me to say this, I don't think we can let them go.
What's to stop them from just turning right around and ambushing us again?
The next group, if they let us pass, or causing problems, or running back to their masters and letting them know that we're on our way.
Yeah, so my thought is there are too many of them to keep with us, because if we run into more, they'll just start trying to jump our dwarves and bear them to the ground in numbers.
Or any beast that attacks us.
And there's so, and we can't really, right? We could hypothetically send the contingent of dwarves back, but then we won't have any troops to actually man the Dale drop. So, does anybody have any ideas that don't involve massacring prisoners?
So Gorwin is obviously a warrior, and he obviously has the training for that kind of stuff, but I'm not sure he's ever seen war, has he?
No, probably not.
Yeah, so...
He probably knows a little bit about, right, because of his history background, he kind of knows the like, legal procedure or something.
Definitely, he's got definitely the academic. He could tell you all about the history of all these different things, but this may be the first time that he's actually confronted with very hard decisions that a battlefield commander is required. How's he handling this?
Not well. He's really hoping that we can come up with a solution that doesn't involve massacring prisoners, but his kind of best idea is, well, we strip them naked and tell them that if they can make it to the dwarves, then they can beg for shelter or whatever.
Yeah.
But even that is pretty rough.
That's also, like, as much as they brag about being tough and whatever else too, you know, a half day's journey naked through fairly heavy snow, it's a death sentence for those guys, for sure.
Yeah, but it's not killing them at sword point, which is maybe a little bit easier to handle.
Yeah. If they had the furs...
That's easier on you, not easier on them.
That's my point, is that Gorwin is
They're warriors, clean death, and let's move on. Objections? I'll make the call then. Dwarves at the ready.
No, Lex, we can't be killing them.
Yeah, I think I'm trying to decide if the dwarves would go along with this.
Well, I'll tell you right now, Cola will not.
Okay, so I think what we see, Lex goes forward, tells him to get ready, and then in Dwarvish, Cola says, "Hold."
Lex, that's not right. I understand that the risk that they might come back. We can't.
It's not whether they come back; it's when they come back.
That's probably so, but these are men that are defeated. If we had slaughtered them all in battle, that's one thing. I could go on and sleep cozy at night with that. But these are men tied, defeated.
So if they were orcs,
I'll just
orcs
point
are
out,
not creatures. They're not people. Orcs are just beasts.
Cole, I'll point out they're neither in uniform nor civilians, so we don't actually have to keep them alive.
Yeah, the Geneva Waterdeep Convention. So,
Are you suggesting, Gorwin, that these are mere bandits?
I mean, how would you guys deal with bandits?
We'd arrest them, bring them home, and we would try them by our laws. Would we? I don't know.
I don't think so. If they're framed as bandits and they're caught raiding, like what these guys are, and if they have invaded
as outlaws,
I think the dwarves might be. Now hearing you guys various, this is what's helpful is for those who are suffering with moral quandaries for how NPCs might happen or might react at home, let your players argue it out. It really helps. I think that thinking about how the dwarves would be thinking about this stuff, I think they would happily see them as bandits, and they would happily execute all of them.
Yeah.
So they would do that. However, you've tried to gain information out of them. I'm not encouraging you guys to kill the prisoners necessarily. I think that the dwarves would be comfortable seeing them in that light.
Lex will say this loud enough that all the dwarves can hear. If we let them go, it's not a matter of if they come back, it's when they come back, when we have to face them. So we'll eventually have to kill them anyways. If the bear tribe is truly moving south, like he says, and have taken the Dale Drop, they'll just run back to the Dale Drop and we'll fight them tomorrow.
Lex, do you speak Dwarven, or is this all in common?
The prisoners can hear you too.
Yeah, we speak Dwarven from what we learned in the dwarves, isn't that? We said we could.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm asking is if you're arguing in Dwarvish or if you're arguing in common.
In Dwarvish.
Okay.
It might be kind of broken and.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
particularly eloquent, but
Yeah. Okay. So let me see here.
I don't know. If they hadn't surrendered Cola, obviously it wouldn't be a problem, but where it is, I don't think we have any great solutions. We need to get to the Dale Drop as soon as possible to prevent more from coming through.
Guys, I need an attack of opportunity from one of Gorwin's troops and one of Lex's troops. I think at least one of them has figured out what the writing on the wall is and is trying to make a break for it. Through that gap in the line there, but you guys will get... That's a hit from Lex. Go ahead and roll damage. That is a hit from Gorwin as well. Go ahead and give me...
Especially
yes,
after we stripped them of their armor.
Yeah. Okay, 5 and... Actually, we'll hit points for this guy. Yeah. So one of them hacks it in the gut, which doubles him over, and then the other one just cuts the head clean off.
Does that start a fracas? Like, does that...
No, because, the rest of the dwarves have their axes at the ready. So they're sort of...
No, but, like, that doesn't start these guys resisting and trying to fight? No.
The one tried to make the break for it, and the other ones, like, if they start a fight, it's a matter of, like, mechanics-wise, all of your dwarves now have ready actions to bring the axes down on these guys if they do anything. So... from a sitting position, bundled in all together, the way that you guys have sort of kept them in a small circle like that, they can try and get up, but they will get killed if they try and do that. I rolled a morale check for them, and I only barely succeeded, so I only said one of them decided to make the run for it.
Big picture, Cola. Big picture. The greater good is served if we have our troops with us when we get to the Dale Drop, and not more enemies.
Allowing this kind of chaos in the first place is what got us into this mess.
The what's his name? Weebjorn begins slowly chanting.
Yep.
And he's singing something, and the rest of the group all starts like, and getting into this Viking kind of chant, and they're all drumming on their chests, trying to keep along with the chant. No one speaks Utgard, or whatever I can't remember what the language is called. I think the only one who did was Store. So you guys can't understand what they're singing, but you take their intent. That this is a fucking bring it on, kind of song.
We are 3. I am 1. If I am outvoted, then strikes me that law has been satisfied.
Okay.
But I'm not
Lex
gonna...
looks at Gorwin.
That's for sure.
Yep, Gorwin is not going to actually rush in, but he's kind of guarding this exit point.
Okay.
Okay. Then Lex says in Dwarven, "Clean warrior's death." Now.
So the if you guys order them to their knees, they actually will comply, and they're still singing, like right up until the end when the axe falls on each of them. They're still singing their song, and then in one kind of fell swoop, it falls silent, and all you guys can hear is the blowing of the wind and the 10 bodies. So, what is happening next, guys? You got a couple soldiers who are a little banged up, it looks like, as well. Let me zoom in a scooch here.
That's just going to go wander over to a spot by himself and whisper a request for forgiveness from his god.
Okay. You hear it? No. No. Okay. Okay, so the
I reject you as a ranger. Find a new god.
there's a pink slip that appears in the bush. What do you guys wish to do next then? Those
Delivered by
defeated.
unicorn, Kev.
What's that?
My leaky symbol is a unicorn, so a unicorn would deliver it for me.
Yeah, exactly. A unicorn with a pink slip in its mouth. That's some quality role playing. So, what do you guys wish to do here? There are a couple of. Does anyone have the healing proficiency?
I think Falcaril does, but
Yeah.
Cola, do you?
I don't think so. No.
No. Yeah.
Okay. Although I think didn't she start investing towards learning that?
Oh shit, I did. I can I got one at level 3.
Is it two? It's 2
But
points.
it costs 2 points.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll need
Well,
another one. to get
Actually, I think it costs you. It's either one more or double if you're going outside of your, because you're not a priest, right? It's a priest
it.
class.
Yeah, not a priest.
Yeah, so it's either double or it's one more. I can't remember
okay.
which.
I'll look it up on the break or something.
Yeah, yeah. So, and actually, so speaking of which, why don't we? I know we started late today, and let's see if. Why don't we take our break now, and then we'll come back and we can figure out what you guys are going to do next. That seems like a pretty dramatic turning point. So we're going to take a 5-minute break here, folks, and then we will be back in 5 minutes to see what our heroes decide to do next. So back momentarily. All right, we are back. So let's check in with chat quickly here. What is shaking? Hey, Fred, Ice King, what's going on, guys? And do have a drink for Mo. Again, that's really appreciated, Ice King. It's always bad to be down a player, especially due to illness. I am loving playing the super insulting NPC. That is very true. I love playing all kinds of NPCs. In particular, gnome reporters. Actually, I enjoy more playing gnomes when I'm playing opposite Dave, because Dave hates my gnome voice.
It's not that I hate your gnome voice. I was just thinking that, Diria, she wanted to, and the character that I had envisioned was like trying to leave the past in the past, and this whole thing was drumming shit up, and he was asking questions about it. I'm like, fuck off.
Yeah, no, I loved it. It was great. That worked out
not you.
Awesome. But yeah, I mean, insulting NPCs definitely have. You gotta, one thing I've learned from watching. There's a couple of things I've been watching recently during the pandemic, and the most satisfying adversaries to take down are the ones that you absolutely fucking hate. If you can present an NPC, it's fun to have characters who are moral gray area kind of things and whatnot, and that's fine. But you can still do that and have an adversary who is really, you just hate them. Yeah, Lord Carmen is one. I'm guessing that Griff is going to fit in that category too, or our new friend from Luskin. What's his name? Cola Hammerstone.
Hey, whoa.
Oh, not Cola, sorry. Derek.
I almost wrote everyone from Luskin.
Freudian slip. That son of a bitch. Oh, I revealed the true enemy of the campaign a little too early here. Barrack Hammerstone. So it's it's always fun to have someone who your players love taken down. So I definitely relish that. All right. You want to? I mean, I can't speak for the what do you call it for other players, but I tell you, like, there's no one I hate more than the undeserved braggart. Like you're just like, what are you fucking doing? So it makes for a really, really great enemy if it's someone who has no basis for bragging about what they should.
You fucking moron! Don't you understand?
Yeah, exactly. It's just great stuff, and I like your familiars back, Andrew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she's never that far.
Nice. All right, so guys, let's pick up from where let's see here, where we last left our heroes. So you guys, boy, what are you doing with the bodies? I guess is one question here.
I mean, we need to camp anyway. That's not Cola. No.
With the bodies, we stripped them of their valuables. Isn't there a cliff right here?
Yep.
I think we send them over the edge.
Okay.
If we send them over the edge, there'll be less chance of attracting wolves, except the fact that there's 2 dead bears right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, they might be hard to move.
Yeah. So the
Anybody
toss
want
them.
bear steaks?
Okay.
Anybody skilled in butchery? I mean, we could take some of the bear meat.
Oh God, I think I wasn't sure where that was going. Whoa, Cola veered into fucking,
No, the bears, not
yeah,
the people.
Serial killer. Okay.
Just
I have hunting. Yeah.
Given Kevin's penchant for wilderness survival, it hasn't necessarily come up yet, but I have a feeling having some good red meat available might.
You could, yeah. I mean, so each of the things you can sort of like grab a certain amount of meat off of them, or you can spend a full day butchering them. But you guys are only this is only partway through your day that you've reached here, right? So
and combat doesn't last very long, so we may have spent an hour kind of dealing with prisoners and talking, but I think we got to move on.
You still got a few hours left to travel. I mean, you certainly could. Generally speaking, there isn't way stations along the way of the Dwarven Valley because you generally don't need them. There's probably similar to those emergency stations that you found in the pass. There probably are, because the routes in the Dwarven Valley can be more difficult to traverse in the winter, so you can only get half as far. I think that about not far from here will be one of those stations, somewhere you can overnight if you choose to.
Well, we it was only supposed to be 1 day to get to the Dale Drop, right?
Yeah,
Or
it's
is it?
yeah, because it's. I'm trying to think here. I think there's probably one of those stations on each way anyway, if you do choose to. But you certainly can. It normally takes you a day in good weather to go from one end of the valley to the other, and with the current conditions, that means it'll take you 2 days to go from one end to the other, which means 1 day to get to the Dale Drop from the midpoint.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what are you guys thinking? You want to and if this is the first group that you've encountered and they've already made their way this far into the valley, what are you guys thinking? How does that affect your plans for tactics and for going forward here?
We want to send 3 dwarves back to warn Silverstream that we've already encountered Rhaegar like a half days out, and it was a sizable unit, and they say they've already taken the Dale Drop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think we probably ought to send at least somebody back. Yeah. And
We can say the fastest ones would likely be the people mounted on rams, so Store and Falcaril could ride back. That could be our explanation for why they're not here.
yeah, Store and Falcaril can ride back, and they can probably make better time going through our tracks.
If one of you guys gives up your mount, Tom could ride on that as well. Or what you could do is give Tom Alehead, but that means whatever's being carried on Alehead would be left behind. Or have to be transferred over to your rams, I guess. What are you guys thinking?
I said we transfer stuff over and give him Alehead.
Okay, so we'll assume that Tom is also ridden back with them and has Alehead. He can likely get a replacement mount as well, too, so you guys would get Alehead back.
Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, I think we need to press on like we were the riders in the front to kind of clear the snow, and then the dwarves in marching order behind. I think Gorwyn is doing the kind of that sort of elven eeriness thing. He's sort of retreated into that kind of eerie, almost like a mildly like not antisocial,
Yeah.
but you know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? This idea of this kind of alien to other races
Yep.
perspective, and that's kind of how he's dealing with the
Sure. Well, I mean, you have,
chaos.
and that's what Arnold's talking about. For those listening at home, is the Complete Book of Elves has some really interesting ideas for how to roleplay elves and how they sort of their memories, their centuries of memories that these characters would have, how they sort of deal with that. And I think it's the reverie is what you're thinking of.
Yeah, I think that is about right.
Okay. What about the rest of you guys? How Cola and Lex? How is your actions here sitting with you?
I'm not great with this.
Okay.
I'll be having to come to terms with it, but I think in the end, Cola is swayed at least by the logic and rationale of he'll accept that the point is a valid one, that it's likely that they'll either just come back with more to hurt us again,
Yep.
and the mission will fail, and ultimately the greater good would be harmed. And so I think he's gonna think of this as the lesser evil.
Yeah. Okay.
And while Lex made the argument about the greater good being more important, and on the outside he's looking fairly stoic, he is crushed on the inside because that was terrible.
Okay. So then it will be a few more hours to get. One thing you find is that after about 45 minutes of travel, remember the snow is coming down fairly heavily as well too, so your visibility is kind of crap here, so you're not able to see this until you really kind of come upon it. You can see that there is a small trodden path that leads up to where that mid-valley sort of emergency station is, and there's black smoke coming out of it. Clearly the Ragged tribesmen got there before you guys did, and they are burning. Let's see about encounters here. Okay. First hour passes uneventfully. You creep closer towards the Dale Drop. You know what, guys? You actually make your way all the way to the Dale Drop itself without any kind of further interaction with the Ragged Tribesmen. Does anyone have tracking? Oh, the Ranger does, right? Lex does? Yeah. You don't need to make a roll for this. So you can tell that there are tracks, like the pack that seems to have come down, of the tribesmen that made their way down towards the that you guys encountered. That seems to have been like the vanguard that was sent, ahead of sort of everyone else. Because there's no other tracks. Like you're not seeing any other tracks of other things. The Dale Drop itself, as you're getting sort of the end of the valley, you can picture it's narrowing, and the two sides, going the wrong way, there I am, are getting sort of closer together. And you can begin to actually see the far side as it pinches in, and then the Dale Drop is sort of a switchback route that leads up, where there's a dwarf-built road that leads up there too. You can see it's supported on the side by big, cyclopean pieces of stone that have been set to secure this road, in whatever weather it is. That leads all the way up to a pair of towers and a set of gates that are designed to sort of protect the place. Either you guys or either Cola or actually we can even do a flashback. Like as you guys walk up, you're surrounded by snow and whatnot. We flash back to your meeting with Dane Silverstream and his soldiers, and they show you artist representation of it. And you can see that it's designed to be a choke point for for people trying to get in. There is smoke coming from both of the, or from one of the towers, I should say. What are you guys doing?
Is that your dog?
That's Anna, yeah.
Okay.
That's Anna Banana. Yeah, no, it's on sound effects. Anna's angry or happy at someone. I don't know what.
So we if the Dale Drop is a choke point to get through, and they're already on this side, do we see any smoke rising from the Dale Drop itself, or?
It's coming from one of the towers, yeah. Now, what you can't tell is... actually, give me a percentile roll again there, Weatherman. Let's see if this is carried on. The initial snow would have only lasted a few hours, so... Still snowing, unfortunately. Shoot.
Okay. You guys want to try and approach the Dale Drop? We want to send out some scouts. It'd be pretty obvious if we're trying to approach it on rams.
And scouts make sense.
I can scout ahead. Well, Gorwin, you're an elf, but are you wearing armor?
I'm wearing metal armor, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that only works in forests.
Yeah, it only works in forests, unfortunately.
Okay. I'm wearing metal armor too, but I've got my studded leather on the ram. I can switch out of the metal armor so I can at least be, somewhat stealthy while I'm...
Well, you are in natural conditions now too. What's your percentage chance of move silent, or rather, hide in shadows?
They're both like 40 to 43. So
I'd give you a plus 25 because of the falling snow.
Right. So I'd have to get out of my banded mail and into studded leather, which be a little chilly, but...
To be honest, probably not much. I mean, the initial cold will be there too, but that metal is just... When you're wearing metal armor, it's going to be fucking sucking heat out of you, right?
Yeah. So yeah, Lex will hop off, switch out of his banded into the studded leather real quick.
Okay.
Real quick, as quick as possible.
Yeah.
See Lex standing there in his skivvies trying to get the leather armor on.
It's Let's get that save versus death going for frostbite. And
Yeah.
no, I'm kidding.
And then, yeah. So do we want to like position ourselves, like have the rams and the dwarves in like a little defensive circle in case we get attacked?
So you know one of the upsides you have here is that well. No, I think so. Not the upside. This is actually a downside. Both the entrance to the Dale Drop and the initial road down is designed to be visible, quite visible from the towers, right? So that they can be able to track if people get through. They can at least, if people aren't if an attacking army breaches the the doors, they at least can provide warning. They can if they don't get into the towers, then they can see who's going down.
So yeah, they could probably see fairly far away.
Actually,
well,
you know what?
limited by the snow.
With that in mind, the fact that there's only smoke coming from one tower, that may mean that one of the towers has held out. You know, dwarves, if not for nothing, they make some pretty fucking good defensive fortifications, and they definitely rely on contingencies.
And it's not, we're talking smoke rising as in like thick black.
Yes, like
not like a little bit of a cooking fire.
No, not a cooking. Definitely not a cooking fire. It's the sort of like, that structure has been raised fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I think we send Lex to scout and.
Okay. So then, Lex, let's hear. You're then with the modifier, your chance will be what, 65?
Yeah.
Okay, so give me a sec here. Just need to find something. So you're making way up there, and let's see. Make a quick roll for you.
Back before I leave, though, I said, do we want to have like the rams or in like a circle or something, and have the dwarves around them, just like get in some kind of defensive position?
Yeah, I think behind like a small rise or something. Obviously, we could kind of huddle down and try to stay out of sight.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So the Lex disappears as far as you guys are concerned once he takes about 20 yards, or gets about 20 yards out into the snow. Lex, tell us a little bit about what we're seeing as you're making your way through too. Do you have is there swords out? Is there a bow out? Do you have nothing, no weapon prepared?
Yeah, Lex has swords are sheathed. He's still using the silver longsword and short sword he got from back in the beginning. And yeah, he's got his new masterwork composite bow out, and he's got an arrow, and it's not it's not drawn, but he's got it like held in his hand while he's holding the bow, so he can just quickly draw back if he needs to. And yeah, he's hyper aware of the surroundings, and he's like drifting from tree to tree and behind bushes and working his way towards the Dale Drop, knowing that the snow is his ally right now.
So you get about you definitely get to the road, the switchback road that leads up to the Dale Drop, and you begin making your way up. The combination of the snow and the angle as well too. You're a very fit person, but even then your legs are still beginning to feel it in your legs as you're making your way up. But you get to a point where you can see through the snow it's a form that is about 9 or 10 feet tall, and it's coming towards you. And you duck to the side. Like, these roads are certainly big enough for you to sort of go off to the side. There's drainage ditches to allow the water and whatnot to run off of here. You hide there, and this thing, seemingly completely oblivious to your presence, goes stomping by, and it is humanoid. It's covered in furs, but like pieced together from much smaller things. So it looks like, kind of like what trappers look like 17th or no 18th century kind of trappers with like all random pelts and shit on them. That's sort of what it looks like. And the overall like physique of this thing seems like a weird midpoint between dwarves and humans, where the proportions are not quite right for it to be an oversized human, but it's not quite right for it to be a dwarf either. And it's stomping along. The furs themselves, at a glance, you can tell were not all treated very well too. So you can't smell it in the cold, but it probably reeks in the summer. And the crudely made spear that this thing is carrying, and there's a little bag on the side. It's basically a like a sharpened bit of stone that's been wedged onto the end of a big, like, not a log, but like a tree limb, and then lashed to it with some kind of twine or leather straps. It's stomping its way down. I think you've heard of this from talking about the things that they try and keep out. There is obviously, giants are happy to live in the lands that are abandoned by humans, or at least where they can live untroubled by humans. This is definitely too small to be a proper giant, but you've heard of a sort of twisted kind of maybe half-breed or degenerate breed of them that are known as the human behemoths, or the verbeeg, that live in the region. And this is, they're not as disgusting and as bestial as what say ogres are, but they're certainly, they're equally physically formidable. So this thing goes stomping down. It seems to be on patrol here.
Okay. I don't know if I'll press any further. I'll maybe stay hidden until it goes back, and then I'll take the clear path back to the group.
Yep. So you go back. While you are there, why don't you give me a hunting proficiency check too, please? Let's see what you can pick up from that. And you're going to want to roll very close to your number. Tracking, please. What did I say? Hunting?
Yeah.
Oh, I was tracking, please. Yeah. Nice. Okay, so not great. So what you can tell, obviously you can see this thing's tracks. That's not what you're making the check for. It's how many of these things you can check. And there seems to be a well-trodden path up and down here, even in spite of the heavy snow you've had the last little while. So you'd guess that there are fairly regular patrols, and it's by, if not this thing, then other things like it.
Okay. Well, when I make back to the group, I'll let them know that this
Okay. So you
type creature.
It's about probably about 45 minutes before it passes by you again. Misses you once again, and then it makes its way up to the top.
Okay. And then I'll head back to the group and inform them that they have some kind of a monstrosity of a sentry, and it was described to them.
Yeah. So you, Kola, having grown up here, you know all about the verbeegs. Yeah, like they are sort of they are the like lesser kin of giants, but what they lack in the physical power, they're a little smarter too. So they're not as dumb and as easily bamboozled as what, say, like hill giants are.
Mm-hmm.
So they, especially if they are organized, like, say, when they were during the reign of Akar Kessel, they can be real threats. And it's one of the main reasons why the Dale Drop has the defenses it does, is to keep orcs, goblins, hobgoblins, and then particularly the more physically imposing and cunning threat of the verbeeg.
Yeah, we want to be staying clear of that.
It's the only way up is, unless you dwarves know of another way into the Dale Drop.
I'm not aware of one. Lads?
So to judge, let me help you understand, because giants in D&D can be, especially in AD&D, can be really, as we learned yesterday, incredibly lethal and do a shit ton of damage too. in comparison to proper giants, like say a hill giant or frost giants or things like that. God forbid frost giants, like you guys are all dead then. But the Verbeeg are the kind of thing that moderately skilled warriors could manage. They're tougher than ogres for sure, but not that more often comes from their the fact that they're intelligent, that they're not as stupid as what ogres are, and will adapt tactics and things like that. But they're not substantially more tough than what an ogre is. So to help you judge sort of how your characters would feel about taking one of these things on, that is about the difficulty. If you guys, in contrast, took on, say, a hill giant, a hill giant would be a much, much tougher adversary. Like there's, I would likely say that if you guys took on a hill giant, it would probably kill all of you.
Yeah, I think we can. So if there's no other path to get to the Dale drop, do we want to try and take the Verbeeg out and make our way up, or?
What did I'm trying to remember what Dwayne specifically asked us to do. If he asked us to just investigate or to, I mean, obviously we're this far. It seems like if we can secure the Dale drop, that's the best thing to do. But I'm trying to remember if
I think that's what was if it wasn't expressly said, that's certainly what was implied. Is that like that needs to be secured to prevent?
Yeah, to fully secure it, not just to investigate.
Yeah, that's why I kind of figured that's why he sent 15 guys with us to also reinforce it. But
yep.
I
switched back into my bandit.
I guess the concern, the thought here would be whether, how much, what do we? I mean, obviously we can't know this, but there's going to be a cost to doing that. I think we would probably safely. It'd be safe to say we're going to lose a chunk of our dwarven allies here.
Here's an upside. Your dwarven allies enjoy the same bonus that you get when fighting giants. I think dwarves get a +4 to their AC, don't they, when they fight giants?
Yeah.
Because we're hard to hit.
And you've trained against these kind of adversaries.
Yep. And there's a lot of us little wee creatures right now.
Yep. So effectively, like the allies you have there would have effectively like a -2 or -4 against, depending on whether they're using their shields or not, against giants.
It might be one hit, one kill, but it can take them a while to hit them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it seems like what we could do is we could wait and try to ambush the one that's patrolling at like the bottom.
Yep.
And we're sure that it's only just the one?
Well, that's all that Lex saw.
I saw there's a lot of tracks. It was hard to tell.
Yeah.
But it could be just one going back and forth over the same.
Yeah.
And if we can kill the patrol one and then kind of make our way up in the same amount of time that it would take it to get back up, then hopefully it wouldn't alert whoever is waiting up top.
I say we give it a volley of dwarven crossbows and arrows and try to take it down. And if it charges us, dwarven phalanx.
Or we could try to position our dwarven allies in such a way that if we can draw it towards us and then they come in and from the flanks and the rear and we've got it surrounded, that might help us.
The road itself is probably about 50 feet wide.
Oh.
Including the ditch. Just to help you judge how much space you've got for setting this up. There is a ditch, and I mean, if you were buried in the ditch in snow, it's very unlikely that they would be seen.
Well, so we could, 50 feet wide at 5 foot per square, so that could be 10 dwarves kind of guarding a line, and then 5 dwarves with crossbows hiding in the ditch to pop out and shooting gallery it.
Yeah, I mean, if they're hiding, I think shooting would be what they'd have to do, because it's going to take them a whole round just to get up out of that ditch, and then they're vulnerable in that time.
If we approach it properly, we'd have at max about 40 minutes, probably to. It took about 45 minutes to do its loop, but I don't know how long it takes for it to come back the other way. Might be half an hour, might be longer.
And this is like, there's no other way to, because I'm also intrigued by what the Rhaegar, the tribesman leader, told us about. I mean, I guess I'm interested by the fact that the elk have scattered. Is there any other way for, like, is this the priority right now? Maybe we need to go and find some of the elk tribe and see if we form that first and then come and do this in a more proper, secured way.
We have to go through the Dale Drop, and the Dale Drop's taken, so we need to take the Dale Drop before we can do anything else.
Yeah, I think.
There's no other, and I don't know any other way around. So
I don't think there is one.
It's at the other end of the valley. You guys would have to travel to the other end of the valley and then up and around. But I mean, you'd also have to find the elk tribe, who are probably actively trying to hide from the bear tribe as well.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. I mean, it's
Can't just go
that's
run
my-
into the tundra and shout, "Hengar, we're
Yeah,
here!"
exactly. Look for a big glowing yellow exclamation mark. Okay, so then what's the plan here, guys?
We are going to approach where I saw the Herbie and make sure that it goes back the other direction, back up the hill or around the bend, and then we're going to set up an ambush for it. Let it pass us, and then pop out of the ditch, cover the road, Dwarven phalanx and crossbows at the ready, and then unload on it.
So when you say cover the road, do you mean cover the road ahead of it? Like, are you trying to prevent it from going up the road?
We'll let it come down the road, and then we'll go in behind it to keep it
Got
from
it,
getting
okay.
back up to
Okay.
alert.
So then that means the advantage of having your rams and your dwarven allies is definitely that, like, they're easily able to plow through the snow. They do leave pretty distinctive tracks too, though. So how do you guys think? And that's not an insurmountable problem, but how do you guys think you would deal with that? Just hope that this thing doesn't notice, or do you have a way that you want to address that?
No, I think we leave the rams further down, and maybe even make some tracks with the rams so that it will notice and follow the ram tracks a little bit. Or
Okay.
I mean, we don't want it to kill our rams. Never mind. But yeah, we need to, like, the rams don't need to come in to where the ditch is and stuff. We can leave them tethered like 100 yards away, or
they're not going to be the most super useful.
yeah. And then bring the dwarves with us, and then Lex can try and help hide tracks. That's going to be a challenge. Everybody walk in single file.
Okay.
Hide our numbers.
Okay. So then, yeah.
We can like make tracks, right? We can walk up along the road, and then once we get sort of close to our ambush point, start walking the ditch or something where it's not going to make as much of a kind of obvious.
Yeah. Well, the advantage you have is it is still snowing as well too. So
So it'll help hide.
Yeah.
The tracks. Yeah.
Okay. And I will let Lex, if you want to, if you grab, say, a switch of a branch or something, or a switch of a tree, especially with the coniferous trees that would be in the region here, and you just sort of dragged it behind you, you may be able to cover the tracks as well too.
Yeah.
So give me a.
I'll do that.
What's your
Do that when
tracking?
we're trying to leave- Do that when we're trying to leave the road.
Yep. What's your tracking rating?
My tracking skill is 15.
I rolled I'm good. Okay. The result is clearly determinative from what I rolled. So, all right. So then you guys let's set up a map here for this. Oh boy, what is this one here? Oh, this is your camp, I guess. Right, that's where you saw your friends. The new, what do you call it? The new friends from Luskin. So let me get this set up here. I'm not going to spend a great deal of time to set this sucker up here, guys, just because, I'd rather just us spend time Chilean. So give me 2 seconds here to get this set up, and then I'll draw some lines to sort of separate what the what the road is and where the what do you call it? Where the
Use the same map if you want. We'll just drag the.
I got a lot of little small things on there. Like I'd sooner just it's easier to keep that map. I don't want to erase. It was a pain in the ass setting up all those trees and stuff like that on there, and it's just as easy for me to drop once I remember the name of the. I love Gabriel Pickard's map. I wish there was a little more consistency for what he named them. It's a little tricky to find sometimes, the specific land, because there's like 3 different subcategories that he has for the different maps.
Ice King's like, did you kill them all? Like, killed them all. Let the gods sort them out. He's like, good. They were sassy after getting their butts kicked for their own good.
Hi, sweetie. And I come to say hi. You finished barking there, goofball?
Hello, and a banana.
Go. All right, all right, all right. Okay. That's the old map layer here, and then let's just do this here. 50 feet, eh? 50 feet, 50 feet. Where's the old measuring tool? Puts me down about there. There, okay. So let's draw a line. Nope. Polygon line. Let's do this. So
I really want to make a blackened stainless chainmail shirt now.
A black and stainless chainmail shirt?
Yeah, like in 13th Warrior, that black chainmail that Antonio Banderas is wearing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Pretty bad.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I gotta watch that film again.
Black steel.
Oh shit! Speaking of films, Cheer Wilford Brimley died today.
Oh no.
Yeah, I watched The Thing with my son last weekend, the AD&D version, and he was pretty awesome in that. Okay. Oops, shit. There we go. All right, so let me see if I got this right here, guys. Is that about 50? Pretty close. Pretty close. Okay, cool. So let me move you over here, guys. Boom. So basically, treat the lines as being sort of the road here. So like this here is.
I think you need to turn on global illumination or give us sight or something, because I see a black screen.
Oh, hold up. Do I have... Yeah, I got dynamic lighting on. Here we go. There you go.
Yep.
What's up, sweetie? What's up? Is that a little better? You can see now?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Let me give you... Bring your allies over here. Whoop. Okay. So I'll put you down near the bottom here. Boom. So that's sort of you can picture the road and whatnot goes down and off in sort of that direction. Let's see here, where did I? It's all on the map. Okay. You can assume that the ditch is going to be nearest the, I think the edge, probably.
So like somewhere along here.
Yeah, I think it, or maybe what it does is runs. I'm trying to think of how it might. The most effective way to do drainage would probably be the center. Like it would. No, because that would. I guess it would be slope. Yeah, I think the ditches will be on the edge of the road.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Okay, so then, guys, what? Go ahead and position yourselves where you kind of picture yourself being. And the way that I sort of see this being, like, this is the route up. You'd go, like, over here, and it goes up and switch back over here, and then you make your way up. Doot. And then up there. Okay.
So I think we leave the Rams with 1 or 2 of the wounded guys.
Yep.
Down at the bottom.
Okay.
And then make our way up. Like 1 or 2 of the switchbacks and start forming up.
So I'll put your Rams down here. Go ahead and put what guys you don't want to bring with you. While you're doing that, I will get my Token for a Verbeeg.
I don't know. Do you want to leave 4 guys back?
I think 3
So-
guys is probably good.
Yeah.
Huh.
So if the ditch is on the side, do we need to be off to the side like over here? And then it goes past us, down and around, and then we come out on the road, and when it comes back, we hit it?
What do you think, guys?
I think the thing is, we don't know, because we can see its tracks, right? About where does it turn around?
Right. So this is where Cola is standing right now is probably the bottom of the switchback road leading up to the Dale Drop.
Yeah, and it doesn't go out like onto the flat area beyond
No.
that, not really. Right. So we need to hide somewhere up on the switchback if we want to get behind it.
Yeah, so, and Kev was saying the ditch runs along the side, so the water would flow from this edge down to here, and then the ditch would be like in this direction alongside the switchback.
Yeah.
So we get our, so if we hide here, and then, even Lex can get out after you guys have hidden, and he'll make sure everything looks pretty good. And then once the Verbeeg goes past, even if it gets to here, the end of this arrow kind of thing, we can come out and we can attack it. Hit it a couple times with range and have the dwarves block off like this.
Yeah, but then we need to be we need to be up here, right? Actually up on the switchback.
Yeah, but we need to do that after it goes by us, stuff. Like when it gets to over to the end of this road.
So the difference between here and there is probably about 15 feet. There's probably a change in elevation of 15 or maybe even 20 feet, 15 or 20 feet from the top there. Because remember, the switchback's going down on an angle, and then it will turn and then carry on. So if this road, because this whole ramp part here, that whole ramp is going up, and then it hits a point and then goes. So by the time it reaches this edge here that you guys are below, then it would be from where Cola is standing now up until where, say, Gorwin is standing. That's probably a 15 to 20 foot climb.
Right, which isn't much for an 8-foot creature.
For what? Oh, for that thing, yeah.
Yeah, so if we block the road, and it's over here, coming this way, coming back at us, it can say, "Oh, forget this," and just climb up over the top.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's why we're crossbows out and we try to take it down as quickly as possible, shooting.
Yeah. So we hide in the ditch. When it gets to over here, we come out, we start peppering it, and if it's trying to climb away, maybe the humans run. Maybe we try and chase it down and cut it off over here.
Okay.
Yeah. But I think, what I'm saying is we have to be formed up on the actual switchback, right?
Yeah, once it passes us.
No, but it's not going to pass us, right? It's just going to walk down to the end of the switchback and then start heading back up. So it's not going to go out into the open area unless we do something.
Well,
Right.
What
I'm saying is it's going to go this way, and that's now past us on the switchback.
Yeah.
Once it goes over to here, once it gets here and it starts to turn the corner, we climb up out of the ditch where you're formed right now, and we pepper it with bows. But we hide in the ditch over here until it's gone by.
No, that's below. The ditch is on the road level.
Yeah.
My understanding.
Yeah.
Because it's for drainage from the road.
Yeah.
So we have to be
Gorwin
up
has it right.
on the road level.
The difference between where Gorwin is standing and where Cola and his troops are standing right now, that's the difference of about 15 or 20 foot elevation.
Okay.
So we
So-
have to be up here.
Yeah.
In a
So it's
ditch.
not going to it won't pass us then. It'll
No,
get
it's-
to here and see us.
Well, you're hiding, aren't you? In the ditch?
Yeah.
Well,
Well, yeah, we're
right.
hiding. We'll see. If it spots us, it'll just go ram.
Yep.
Yeah. If it spots us, it'll.
What if we did if we had some down here, but spread this way, so that it's unlike. I'm thinking like, if this, how tall is the elevation here between here and
each of these? Figure that each of these at the most goes about 20 feet up. So it depends on where you are. For where your guys are right now, probably 10-foot difference between and then getting closer to the edge. There's probably 20 feet.
Okay, and they're dwarves. So
Yeah.
like, if we had some here, and we were hiding in a ditch, and the thing. Oops, I'm grabbing too many things here. And it started going down this way. It's gonna see them by the time it gets here, but it's unlikely to see them while it's still up on this.
So tell me, guys, maybe I'm not understanding. What is the steps you're taking to hide these guys? Are they just crouching down there and then hoping they don't get spotted, or were you actually? There's tons of snow you can bury yourself in.
Yeah.
We were planning on burying ourselves.
Yeah. So the advantage the dwarves have is you're not very tall, and those ditches would be accumulating a shit ton of snow over the last couple of days of snowfall. Plenty of stuff for you guys to. It's not going to be pleasant to be that immersed in snow, but I mean,
Right.
there's a chance that he'll see you still, or they will see you still, but it's not a foregone conclusion. You're taking some. It sounds like some pretty good steps to try and keep them hidden.
I'm just thinking like, if we had some of them here, it's unlikely we'll be able to hide them well over here though. But they'll be hidden by virtue of the angle of sight until the thing gets around the corner, and then they can come out, spread out, and like cut him off, giving us the chance to spring out behind him or behind it, and then we've got it effectively. And I'm hoping this would cut it off from trying to do something like this.
Yeah.
Because it's got threats on both sides, and it's going to pick one.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
So
But
the way
we're
that
not-
I was picturing, and you guys can tell me if this is different from it. The way that I was picturing that you guys were going to conceal your troops is they all have shields and they're all quite stout and small. Is they'd get themselves down in there, they'd put their shields over them, and then you guys would effectively bury them, so that they can just listen for your message for them to come running out. But otherwise, they're not keeping watch. They're keeping themselves concealed. Is that how you guys are picturing it?
it's gonna be hard for them to see, so they're gonna have to.
That's just it. Like that's what. Like I'm not. Even though they're moving fairly closely, I thought like the Lex, whoever's keeping watch for it, whoever's going to be sticking their head out and whatnot, they're the ones who are the most likely to be seen. But once that message comes in, Cola, do you have a shield? Oh no, you're a Allegor, so you're not carrying a shield. But I think that you could huddle in with some of your allies there in sort of a shield. One of your taller allies could bury you guys in there, so at least there's enough of a way to conceal you guys. Lex, are you the one who's keeping watch then?
Yeah, I'll end up doing most of the burying too. So
okay,
and maybe Lex will be the one hiding over here in the corner, and he'll shout out when it's time to attack.
So then
when it gets to about where Cola is now, if possible.
Okay.
Yep.
So then position. Now the ditches are only about 5 feet wide, so you do need to reposition those green guys a little better. Or are they not positioned?
Lex will take the guys that he likes. Cola's idea. He'll take his guys, and maybe hide in the opposite ditch.
Okay. Okay, that's all right out in the road there. You need to be the ditches. Remember, are right against the edge.
Oh right.
Yeah.
So then he'd have to be. There's no ditch. Ditch edge would be over here.
It'll be running along the edge of where Cola had them before. That would be acceptable as well. Yep. Okay.
This guy and Cola are a little hidden. Maybe we need to go over there too.
Take you and one guy, bring him over here.
It's getting a little cramped over here.
So let's just send that other wounded guy back with the Rams, since we've got a couple down there anyway.
Yeah, there's an extra wounded guy. There's another one here that's only got 4 hit points.
Yeah.
If you want to send him back, you can have a space in the line, Cola.
Okay.
Alright, so then 4 guys guarding the rams.
Lex will show Gorwin and how to bury these guys, and he can help. Him and Cola can help bury the dwarf. He can help Lex bury the dwarves and Cola, and then Lex will just quickly cover him and then run over here and help these guys.
So, Dave, what I want you to do is for you to think of what you don't need to say what it is yet because you'll have an opportunity to do it. But think of what is the signal? What's the signal for everyone to jump out and do their shit? So you don't need to tell us because you'll be able to spring that if and when you're able to spring that. Sound good?
Sounds good.
And we're going to assume that retroactively all the characters know what this thing is. I think it'll be fun to be a surprise for everybody. Okay, so then guys, you get yourselves in position, and then after a fairly long wait, we see, and this is unfortunately those of you who are concealed won't see this, but the Verbeeg patrol has returned. Making his way down the path, closer. Did he pause? Is he looking? What's that on the ground? Dave, you go ahead and tell me whenever you trigger your signal, and I will stop moving him.
For the dwarves.
Nice. All right. So let me roll for surprise for this chucklehead. I'm going to increase the chance of surprise by 3 from normal because he was ambushed.
I just want to see how it was eyeballing, but how close am I to the middle?
Pretty good.
Like, about as close as you get.
Hold on, sweetie. Hey, settle down. Anna, come on, lie down. Hey, come on. Come on. Yeah, lie down, sweetie. Okay. All right, excellent. Then let's do this. He is surprised, so you guys have a full round to take action. Maybe you can't cast spells during a surprise round, though. So, okay. So, guys, go ahead and take all your actions.
So the dwarves probably, assuming we're doing the crossbow thing like we talked about, they probably have to push up out and then switch to crossbows on the surprise round since they have a shield in hand.
So they get all their crossbow. Yep. So that's all done. Cola, Lex, and Goran, what are you guys doing?
I'm just taking the axe out and saying a prayer to Clangeddon, and actually a prayer to Clangeddon and a prayer to Baranor.
Baranor Truesilver?
Might as well.
Yep. Okay.
Really following both of them now.
Awesome. Alrighty. So then, Lex fires. That is a hit. Ugh. Cries out. Hello. And Gorwin, nice. That is a hit as well. This thing is hit from both sides. It seems more irritated than it is like afraid or wounded necessarily by both those hits. And then we have second volleys from the both of you guys. Nice, another hit. Okay. And then Gorwin, also a hit. Yep. Thwack. Okay. Alrighty. So, guys, that is the end of round, the surprise round. Let's go on to round 1 here. And let's have, Lexus, was your plan here. You sprang the attacks. Let's start with you rolling initiative. Everyone to figure out what you're doing for the round. And then, Dave, would you kindly beat my 3? Oop, where is it? 3. 3. Oh!
Oh.
Alrighty, so I'm acting on a 9, which means that I am...
What's a crossbow for the dwarves?
Crossbow for the dwarves will do... assuming it's a heavy crossbow, it'll do 1d10 damage. Because we're using the damage out of creatures or combat tactics instead of the player's handbook. Alright, so what he's going to do... Oh, sorry, what's that, Dave?
Heavy crossbow is a speed factor of 10.
Oh, the speed factor you're asking, sorry. All right, then. What he is going to do is raise his shield towards, I think, Cola's troops. So he's going to get the shield, the extra shield bonus, and he moves to 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold on, his movement is, so I can move, or not 12. Yeah, that's right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. So he starts cautiously making his way up. He does not get the shield bonus against you, Lex. Alrighty.
Okay.
So then, for next up will be Lex. What are you doing, Lex?
Pew.
Oh, not one. That goes wild. Then we have Gorwin.
All right.
Thunk. That just is enough to get past his defenses.
Nice.
Go ahead and roll damage. 4, okay. You hit him right in the shin, I think. Then dwarves. We got a bunch of dwarves who are making attacks here. What is Cola acting?
I had a problem because I realized I've cast all of my most useful spells. So
Okay.
like bless stuff is all done. So I don't really
Filling
have
out an
much
application for the Verbig army.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't really have much I can do except move closer, and I don't really want to move too close right now.
Okay. Yeah, that's understandable. All right, then it is the dwarves. So we got Lex's dwarves. Let's see here. One of those is a hit. So go ahead and roll damage with the crossbow. 1d10. Oh my goodness. Hits him right in the back of the leg. He spares a look back, furious at you guys. Then we've got 3 of Cola's dwarves and 4 of Gorwin's dwarves. Nice. Holy shit, Gorwin. That's 3 hits in spite of the armor.
Third one.
No hits from him, so dunk against his big shield there. Dunk for Cola. Go ahead and roll 3d10 damage. Oh my goodness. So one of them hits him square in the shin again, and he drops his guard. Another one sinks right into here near his collarbone, probably shattering that. And he kind of raises his hand up, and as he opens his mouth, fuck, another one sinks right inside, and he's blood spewing out of his mouth. Boom! Hits the ground, dead.
Excellent.
Well done, guys. All right. So, with him down, what do we do next?
Okay.
Well, I think we take a moment of confusion out of how I did not anticipate it going that way.
So he weighs about he with armor and everything else on is going to be close to 400 pounds.
Can we just roll them over the edge to the next level down?
With difficulty, yeah, you got a lot of sturdy dwarves that can do that too. It's going to be challenging work, but that would be able to you'd be able to get that body down here. I think it's
we set up another, or we watch for another sentry, or do we want to go up, rush up?
I think we want to rush up because they're not going to expect him back until
45 minutes.
Make it all the way up to the top.
Okay.
Yeah.
Guys, do you mind? Sorry, I do need to take a very quick comfort break here. I drank far too much coffee this morning. So I'm going to just take 2 minutes. I'll be back in just a second here.
Sure.
Okay.
So what do you think, Arlen? We set the dwarves up in kind of like a shield wall with crossbows behind, and we advance on the tower.
Yeah, I think we advance on the tower about as quick as we can because, like I said, they're not going to expect. They're not going to know something wrong for a little bit.
Yeah. Cola? Oh, he still hasn't headphone down yet. Cola, what do you think? We get these guys hustling to get them up to the top, and when we get close to the top, dwarven shield wall for half the guys, the other half behind with crossbows.
Okay.
Just in case we have another friend.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
So I think you guys are about. You're able to make your way most of the way up there. The dwarves make slow but steady progress up. The thing I think one or maybe all of you guys are keeping in mind as well too is that oh, hold on, get that back. I'll move that to the DM's layer here. Boom. The Dale drop is designed to be able to still look down into here. So if someone is keeping watch, it may be, a challenge. So let's see here. I'm gonna see.
Snow's still falling, right?
Snow is still falling. Yeah, you do have the benefit of that. They'd have to be pretty close to the edge there for you to be seen. And you guys are able to. Let's see if there's a random encounter. Okay, you guys are actually able to make it all the way up to the top. So you're at the last sort of stretch leading up. You can picture you guys are all hiding. Let's say this is the last one here. You guys would all be sort of, hugging the wall there. Lex probably the front there. Whoops. There you go. The rest of you guys all, hidden. Oh, shit. That's why I should have moved that to the... Let's do this. Map layer so I don't accidentally move it. Map layer. And...
Just easy for us to move some of these guys.
Yeah, it is. Well, I mean, I shouldn't have put them on that layer anyway. There you go. So, you guys making your way along, you can see. Picture that the next way up there is going to be here. I'll do this here. Boom. There's this path up, and then you're going to be at a small little like staging ground right outside. That's only probably about the same width, again, 50 feet until you get to the walls. You can see from here now. Can you see from here? I don't know if you can see where whether the gates are open or not. But you can see that there's still smoke coming from that one tower. The other tower seems to still be at least not as damaged as the other. There's not smoke coming out of it. What's the plan here, guys?
You gotta rush it.
Yeah, I think we rush up and see if it's like. Surely they wouldn't, right? The tribesmen wouldn't leave, or the Verbeeg wouldn't leave one guy guarding this place while the dwarves are in control of the tower, right?
Yeah.
Should we move our and the rams up a little bit?
We can go get them later. We have.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we get them later.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Kev, if I understand this right, we have to go this way, up the last leg of the path.
Yep.
And then it goes this direction, 50 feet towards the gate. Or
yeah. Here, let me. I can actually reflect this on the map. Give me a sec here. Just need to do this here. Map background. Copy. Paste. There we go. So we move this here to back, and then map. Let's do this here. Oop. Can't do this. Hold on. Oop. No, I can't easily do that. Unless... Aha! I believe I've found my way. You will no longer be master of me, map. No siree, Bob. Okay. Get rid of that. Move the sucker all the way up. Okay, guys. Here we go. Then
So
on the
we're
map
here.
layer. Yeah, let me just draw a quick.
We're down here.
Why is this giving me? So we'll do this. So this is the last leg up there. Okay. And this here will be the edge. Come on. There we go, of the cliff. There. And then we'll drop in our, here we go, premium assets.
Cola, you're inside. How did you do that?
I didn't. That, me.
So Cola will move you guys down here.
I didn't do it so we can see what's going on.
I'll get rid of that stupid errant line there. And then, let me see. Boom. Not helpful. Not helpful, but let's do this. What can I do? You know what? I can just as easily draw the thing then as I can do this. So here's what we'll do is, assume that the deal drop goes like up here, and up here is where the what do you call it? The pinch in the valley, kind of where the mountains and the mountainside kind of goes, and then we'll have one tower right over here. Oh, gotta move you, Cola. Sorry. There you go. And then one tower is set in over here. With the gates, in between here. Go up, zoop. There we go. And you can see that the gates are breached here. Boom, boom, boom. I don't know if I need that, actually. There we go. They're breached. So then what you can see is, and I really should have drawn that a little lower, because that is way close to the edge of the map now. But what you see standing there, they can't all be gems, is... okay. Not dead. I need to restore him to life in a second here. Boom. 1, 2, and 3, 4 Verbeek. They're sort of... These ones over here seem to be gambling or something. On the side there.
Which tower is the smoking tower?
The one on the left is the smoking one.
Okay.
The one on the right is the one that is still intact. And you can see that there's a bunch of... what do you call it? There's a bunch of damage to the outside of a door on this one here, too. There's a door like right around the edge here. And actually, you know what? I think these guys would be over here then. Sorry, I know that makes it a little more difficult for you, but these ones are out here waiting to try and breach this door. And you can hear the sound of other tribes not far. Like there's an encampment on the far side here. Okay. So, that is what you guys see as you're making your way up. You can hear... Lex, am I correct in thinking that you're going to reconnoiter that last little bit because you're faster than everyone?
Yep.
Okay. So you guys for sure would have had a chance to see what was actually waiting for you up there. Let me just make my quick...
Oh, Lex is switched back to Bandit, though, so he won't.
He's which, sorry?
He's in Bandit mail now, so he won't be sneaking around in there.
Okay, so I think that you guys... Let me make a check to see if these guys spot you then when they... Nope. So you guys are... You come around here, and you see them, guys, but they don't see you.
Okay, so Lex waves everybody over to this wall. He's like, get back to the next wall. Hurry.
Okay.
So it's like these dwarves, kind of hustle to get to here.
Yep. I'm going to adjust.
Cola.
Yep.
Okay. All right, so you guys all slam yourselves up against that wall. What are you guys doing next?
Okay, and he waves everybody forward.
Okay.
Oops.
Could I? Oh, it's all in. That's not how magic works in this game. I can't stealthily start casting.
It's really loud and obscene.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Well, it depends on what the duration of your spell is. I mean, this is on the, like, effectively like the side of a almost mountain here.
Okay, I thought I was gonna start whispering Silverbeard, but it's not gonna work that way. Plus, it's already cast. I have like my spiritual weapon and my healing. That's about it.
Okay. So I'm adjusting the hit points to roll randomly here.
Lex tells the dwarves, charge. Have you charge those, or do we want to form a wall? No,
I think you got the element. You got some element of surprise on the gambling ones. I wouldn't squander that.
Okay. One shot with the crossbows, then drop them and charge.
Oop. Okay, guys. Oops. Come on.
Are we moving?
Kev.
Or are we in initiative, Kev? Or are you?
Yeah, let's get scrapping here. I think you guys. So I will roll for surprise. I'm going to give them a +3 to the chance of being surprised. So I was just generating.
Just a border question as well. Noticing it's quarter to 4 EST. Are we?
Oh yeah. So what do you guys want to do? We started late, but I don't want to push anyone past the time that they're available. I can go for another 15 minutes past to get if there is a fight going on. But I mean, our fights can last longer. What are you guys thinking? Do we save this for next weekend, or do we? We can get a surprise. Go ahead, Arlen.
My thought about saving it was more about letting the other party members take part in it, not just to give us more firepower, although that is always a nice bonus, but because it seems like we're going to have a pretty big decision if we finish the fight about what we need to do next.
Yeah.
It'd be good to have everybody here to see kind of the consequences of what's going on.
Agreed. That will give me a chance to get a nicer map together as well, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so let's do that then, guys. So you guys are ready. I know that you guys do have surprise on them. So let's start with a surprise round. And then we will see what happens next time. Okay. So then, guys, for those listening at home, my apologies for starting late today as well, too. But we actually were. It appeared that we were going to be down quite a few players. So I had made a posting on the YouTube channel saying that was the case. I've since erased it, but it was quite nice because we found out that we did actually have a quorum to be able to get a session in. Let's get some XP though. So for those of you who are fighters,
well, I guess we don't get hit die for the massacre prisoners of war.
No, you already got XP for defeating them, and that really wasn't.
Yeah, that seems a little off.
So you guys get you have defeated 5 hit dice worth of adversaries. I think all of your astonishing fortune is left, right? No one made any rerolls.
Yes,
is that right?
correct.
Yeah. So you got 150. Okay, so 50 times. Oh no, plus 270. Awesome. It's actually not quite as hot today as what it was yesterday, too, so I think I can take the pooch for a stroll. Or at least a longer stroll.
Successful with my hide, Kim?
You were successful, yes.
What does that give you?
That will give you 100 points, or 100 XP. Then, you guys are each walking away with 140 XP. 140 is... Oh, you know what? Make it 240, because that was some really good role-playing for making those decisions as well, too, and for... I don't think those were easy... those weren't easy decisions for you to make. So, that was pretty good. And so that means, yeah, 240 XP plus whatever spell or class-based bonuses that you guys have achieved. Did anyone ding after today's session? No? So we're not rolling any hit dice or anything?
Got like 6,000 to go.
Okay. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, little ways. Little ways. All right. So then...
Lex is 800 off from 5th.
Oh, man. So close. This next fight, probably, yeah. assuming that he survives. Then, for those listening at home, thank you so much for joining us for session 29, I think, or 28? 20, what is it, 20?
Or 25 last session, I thought.
26, yeah, so 26 of our quarantine campaign. As is always the case, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns regarding the campaign, the game we're playing, or the session, please don't hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section of this video. You can reach me on Twitter at Dungeon Musings. You can also reach me by email at dungeonmusings@gmail.com. You can also find a link in the description of this video to the Dungeon Musings Discord server. You can find all of us there, as well as a bunch of other cool people who want to talk about gaming, streaming games, things like that. We have channels dedicated to all of our games we run on the channel. There's a good Find a Group channel. There's a channel where you can learn all about the different virtual tabletops and how to set up your streaming or playing online. There's also great just general chatter on the channel as well too. So plenty of great people, and you are welcome to join us there. In addition, there are what do you call it? If you enjoyed the session, be sure to click on subscribe and the bell icon so you know when we're going live. And if you click on like, that'll help us with giving thanks to our players for the to date. We've managed to, and actually I've got notification, Andrew. I've got, I think, a replacement for your more battered copy of the Player's Handbook that I'll be ordering right afterwards. So Noble Knight, once again, has let me know. Thanks to viewers and to our generous patrons and whatnot, we have successfully supplied all of our players with a copy of the Player's Handbook from the 89 printing. I need to mail George's copy to him still, but I'm going to do that tomorrow. So thank you so much for that, and the watching the videos and clicking on like and whatnot, that helps us with the ad revenue that comes in for it, and that's what we spend it on, is to say thank you to our players. In addition, there is a link in the description of the video to something called Heroes Save Villages, and that is the charity fundraising campaign that we run on the channel. And from now until September 1st, 2020, you can, for every $25 Canadian that is donated, you get one chance to win our grand prize in our charity raffle, which is a copy of the Beadle and Grimm Gold Edition Eberron Rising from the Last War box set. It's this beautiful thing that we actually used yesterday to run a pretty fun session of Eberron. And for those of you who are actually playing in person, it'll be even better because there's some amazing stuff that's in there. Beadle and Grimm donated a copy for us to raffle off, and if you don't win that, you still have tons of other cool stuff you can win, including 2 copies of the Astonishing Swordsman and Sorcerers of Hyperborea core rulebook, a copy of the Annie Award, or the it was the Annie Award winning The Monsters Know What They're Doing, or is it Annie or is it Origins? What was yesterday? Annie's or Origins?
Annie's was the recent one.
Annie's was the recent one. Yeah. So The Monsters Know What They're Doing by Keith Amon. There's a copy of the let's see here, some great OSR zines donated by our own Jason Hobbs. There's some cool stuff from our Redbubble shop, including some posters, some t-shirts, and some other neat stuff, and a handcrafted chainmail dice bag from our very own David. Now, I don't have mine at hand because I've got my Alien RPG dice in there now. But that's what, so there's a bunch of different cool prizes, and best of all donations go to SOS Children's Villages International. None of it goes to the channel, none of it goes to any other middleman. It all goes to help the over 80,000 orphaned and abandoned children who benefit from SOS Children's Villages International charities, or their activities. So a big thanks. It gives you a chance to help out some kids who could really use help, as well as give a chance to win some pretty cool gaming stuff. Now, last but not least, speaking of players, I want to give a big thanks to my players who jumped on at the last minute. We really thought that we were not going to have to scuttle the session, but guys, this made for a pretty fun Sunday afternoon. So, Andrew, Arlen, and Dave, thank you so much for joining me today. This was a ton of fun. Congratulations for getting closer to liberating the Dale Drop. And yeah, very close to securing the Dwarven Valley. And once again, for those listening at home, thank you so much for joining us as well. Until we see you again, if you are listening to this during the quarantine, like the rest of us during the current pandemic, I hope that this finds you healthy, safe, and weathering the current crisis as well as can be expected. We hope it gave you a chance to take your mind off of what's going on in the world for a couple of hours. And until we see you again, happy gaming.